there's a lot of different ways this can go, but all right.
It's not as bad as you think.
Okay.
So I sit down in the stool to order my drink. And like after a little while, it wasn't like immediately, like this lady who was obviously, there was a lot of locals at this bar, like regulars. Like they were like.
And anything a group of martial artists hate when they go to a bar is locals. There is always an issue when a group of martial artists go to a bar and the fucking locals show up trying to claim their territory.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you have to reluctantly fuck up a bitch.
Yeah.
Did you spin kick somebody's cigarette out of their mouth?
So she comes over to me after I'd been in this chair for a bit, and she's like, I was sitting there.
Oh, no, this local did not.
And I was like...
Did you take your sunglasses off first? No way this local. Did you look at your group of martial artists, your cackling broads, and just like put a hand up like, stay cool?
I was kind of by myself. I think I was talking to Bruno at the time. Like I was sitting there by myself. I think I was talking to Bruno or Lori for a minute. And then like they went, and then like it was just me and her. Like because she was on the other side and everybody was on the far side. So it was like she waited till I was like singled out. Like I was away from the group.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. Let's talk about this for a second because you know, if you've never been in Ansley's presence, you don't really understand her physicality, right? Like Ansley is you're an imposing figure, not just for your height, but you have a fitness in a way that you carry yourself where it's like that's a different type of human. You know, you're just an Amazon chick, right? And sometimes people will say stuff to you just to ensure that they're not afraid to say stuff to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So is that what's going on here? Like, does she really need this seat back?
No, there's like a stool right next. No, there's like plenty of other seats.
Does she have anything hanging on the seat to mark the territory?
No, nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
All right, so this
she might have been sitting in that seat at one point in time, but it wasn't like it was like she's trying to call a savies. Like she got up, went outside. I think she probably smoked a cigarette or something, came back in and was
so
like,
that you couldn't kick it out of her mouth. So okay, she came back in and saw
me, was like
in her seat.
Maybe this is a seat she sits in every night. Like I don't know.
Or maybe she was just partying all day and she was on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like all day walking around wishing a bitch would.
Yeah.
And then you showed up with four other chicks who were also wishing a bitch. There's no way you the four of you weren't wishing a bitch would. Like there's no way you guys didn't at every place you went to like stop and just think about how like the five of you could like strangle most of the people in that room. Like how many times did that come up? Like once per place at least?
I don't think we talked about it verbally, but you know, we know it.
Just like you silently acknowledged it every time like a big chick walked into the room or something. Okay. So, all right. So she comes over.
She's like, hey, I was sitting there. I was having a lovely night, like amazing night. And I was just like, okay, like have your seat. Like I jump out of the seat and I like start pushing it towards her.
Yeah.
And then her homegirl who was sitting like a seat away or something was like, that's not your seat. She was like, you don't need that. Like, she was just like, what are you doing? Like, you don't need that seat. And so she's like, then she was like caught and she was like, oh, I'll go. Like she didn't. And I'm like, no, take your, like sit, have a seat.
Take your fucking seat. Like pick it up and start hitting her with it. You want the seat? Take the fucking seat. Oh, this is your seat. Now you need the seat, bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
And so she walked away, and I think I walked away. I didn't sit in the seat anymore.
Yeah.
And that was, so I apologized to her for whatever it was. Like that was her stomping ground, right? Like that was her place. And it didn't go as she planned, I don't think. And so
Are you trying to bigger man this chick?
all night
is this
and
a
tomorrow.
Real apology? This doesn't feel like an apology. I feel like you're stating a reason why a chick should apologize to you.
She tried to bully me, Sydney.
That's the best apology ever. My bad. I'm sorry that you were a bitch. My bad.